What's up, everybody? I feel like that's just my new intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this. What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing, man? Welcome back to the safe space. First of all, first and foremost, you know what we gotta do. Look at them braids, bruh. Look at the braids, bruh. Wait, hold on. How's everybody doing this beautiful Sunday? I wanted to come on here and have a discussion with y'all. First, before we even get to it, bro, the changes. There was a whole nother video that I made I did not post. I don't know if I'm going to. I probably should, but I don't know if I'm going to. So just in case I don't post it, I am in the midst of making a studio to where I'm taking this inside, and I'm doing some changes and some upgrading, because I feel as though in my heart, if God gives you a platform, if God gives you anything to a voice, a platform, a job, a career, you gotta invest back into it. You have to put back into it. And God has been asking me to start building it a little more. Get out of my car and start making a studio space. And that is what I'm doing. And I'm excited. I'm waiting on everything to come. I have a sign being made. I just pulled the trigger on like all the equipment, not all of the equipment, but the equipment. And it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be cool. And I'm excited for this new chapter. I know I don't have like a lot of videos out, but God's asked me to start upgrading. So I'm upgrading, and I'm excited, right? I'm excited. There's gonna be people. I'm gonna have guests. It's not just gonna be solo dolo me anymore. There's a lot of new stuff coming, right? And as the audience grows and everything grows, and starts to expand, I want to keep up with it all and continue to give y'all not just good word, but good content. So yeah, please continue to like and share, subscribe, support, share with your friends. Because it's about to grow. We about to do some things. And it's just so exciting, bro. It's so exciting. Anywho, back to regular scheduled program. Today's topic is marriage. Ooh. And just being marriage minded. Now granted, there is going to be a bigger part to this. Marriage minded men. And I don't want to give too much away, but this is going to be more than just me talking, and we're going to be having a discussion. But that's coming with the studio, right? And yeah, it's about to be dope. So yeah, today we're talking about being marriage minded. I see a lot of culture, right? Culture is trying to tell you marriage isn't worth it. You're just gonna get your life destroyed. The woman is gonna take you for everything you got, and they just want you for your money, and just all this negativity, right? And the crazy part is, they're not wrong. But the caveat that they're not speaking on is that happens when you do it outside of God. That happens when you don't allow God to work in your life first, right? Because us by ourselves, we're gonna lean more towards the flesh and what pleases the flesh, right? So, men, the ladies we pick, you know, they're gonna be good looking, right? They're gonna have nice body, nice smile, nice personality. But if that relationship with God isn't there, you're more likely to run into those things that they're telling you, and then they get hurt and they get jaded and they do these things. And I'm sorry, I see a piece of a bird just on the ground. But they see I have ADHD. They see all these things that are appealing to the flesh, but they don't have Christ. So those things that are appealing to the flesh, eventually that stuff is going to wear off, and then the trauma and the hurt and the pain and the unchristlike behaviors are going to start seeping in, and then the marriage falls apart, and they're saying it's not worth it. There are consequences to doing things outside of God, and people don't understand that, right? And even with God in the midst, a lot of us don't prepare ourselves, right? We don't prepare ourselves for marriage. We don't. We just be like, I want a man, I want a husband, I want a wife, and we do no personal growth. And if God has it for you, it's gonna come. But are you gonna be prepared for it when it gets here? And sometimes you're gonna stunt you're gonna stunt your growth and keep it from coming because you're not preparing. You're not taking the time to heal from past relationships and childhood trauma and things like that are going to seep into your marriage. And I'm not saying you gotta be perfect, because things are gonna come. But would you rather a small load or the full load to be put onto your spouse? Because whether you're married or not, trust issues are trust issues. Insecurities are insecurities. They're gonna show up whether there's a ring on your finger or not. They're gonna show up whether you have a good man or a good woman or not, right? So it's taking the time to deal with that as much as you can. And I don't want you to feel like you have to like get it all together and be completely healed and do everything and all before you get there, because there's only so much you can do by yourself. Man is not to be alone, and man is not meant to be alone. And that not meaning just man as in male, but man is in mankind. We're not meant to be alone. We can't do everything on our own. Some things require a significant other to help heal, because part of the healing journey is thank you, Lord. Let me rephrase this. So the worst thing you can do is run from situations, right? The worst thing you can do is run from your problem, because when you run from your problem and don't deal with it, your body is in a constant state of living in it, right? Your mind is in a constant state of living in it. Your spirit is in a constant state of living in it. So when you're running from your problems and not dealing with them, you're holding yourself captive to them. And that's the worst thing you can do to yourself and to whoever you're trying to bring into your life. And the best way to deal with that is replacing bad memories with good, right? So when we're not dealing with our problems, we're running from them, and we're scared to get married because of our ex-girlfriend that tweaked out and they busted up our self-esteem and our self-worth, and we're scared to get in a relationship, we're scared of marriage, we're scared of everything, and we don't know anymore, and all women are bad, and this and that and third, and they're going to take me for everything I'm worth. And you see how that sounds? You're running from your problem, right? And all men ain't this, and all men ain't, and there are no good men out there, and who needs a man, and what's a red flag? A straight man, and all this and that. You're running. And the longer you run and stop and not replacing those bad memories with good, and not giving yourself a chance to heal, right? You're going to bring that into your marriage. So if this is something you really want, because a lot of people want to, whether they want to admit to it or not, a lot of people want to be married. People don't want to die alone. People want a spouse. People want a significant other. People want to feel loved. People want to feel cherished. People want to feel vulnerable. People want they booski. You feel me? But the issue of it is, when you run from the problems and the hurt and the pain, you might be delaying the process. Because God loves his son just as much as he loves his daughter. He loves his daughter just as much as he loves his son. And do you think he's going to bring someone into your life and allow you to break them apart and destroy them? No. You're doing yourself and them a disservice. You're like, no, I'm not going to let you do that to my child. No, God is a loving God. This is the God I know. The Abba I know is a loving God, right? So he's not going to allow you to just destroy somebody. No. So if that's something you really want, focus on healing, right? Go see your therapist. There's a lot of Christians that don't believe in therapists and they just want to pray the pain away. And yes, to an extent that works, but if you have diabetes, you gotta go see your doctor. You can pray and God tell you go see your doctor, right? But I prayed. Oh, I'm dealing with anxiety. I'm just praying away. But yeah, you have anxiety, but what's the root of it? Go to your therapist and get to the root of it. I have trust issues. Well, I can heal that, but I can't heal it until you find out what the root is. Until you make it visible, then I can touch it. Until you give it to me, God's a gentleman. I'm a gentleman. I'm not gonna just snatch it away from you. You gotta give it to me. And sometimes you can't give it until you know what it is, right? So go see your therapist and get those situations understood, so then you can, like, okay, God, these are childhood issues. I have father issues, I have mother issues. Here it is. I'm gonna give it over to you, Lord, so that now he can start that healing process. And then when your spouse comes in, they're not coming to a broken mess. And be patient with yourself. Give your body a chance to breathe, bro. Like, do you have to have somebody? You can be single for a little bit, bro. You can be single for a little bit. Culture tells you in order to get over one, you gotta get up under another. That's culture. And what you're doing is you're just compounding. You're compounding. That's like gaining a couple pounds, and instead of going to the gym and working it off, you just keep eating. You're like, well, I'm already here. I might as well just be fat. Like, well, F word. I saw the interview with old girl, so I don't want to offend nobody. I'm not supposed to say that word, I guess. So I'm not supposed to be the F word, and I'm just gonna be the F word. I'm not gonna work out and deal with what I already put on my body. You see what I'm saying? Like, give yourself a chance to detox, work off what the stress and the pressure that you already had from your previous. And let yourself breathe. Let your body breathe. Let these break these soul ties, and then move on. You know what I mean? Get closer to God. Take your singleness seriously. Get closer to God, so that when he gives you your person, you're not scared of them. You can handle them correctly, because you know you. Love thy neighbor as I love thyself. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. And who is your neighbor? Your spouse. Love your spouse as you love yourself. And the better you are at loving yourself in a Christ-like way and not a selfish way that culture tells you, the better you're going to love your spouse. Because how you would handle yourself is how you're going to handle your spouse. If you don't want to be yelled at and critiqued and tweaked out on and all that stuff, you're not going to want to do it to somebody else. That's what the Bible means. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. If you don't want it done to you, you're not going to do it, because you wouldn't want that coming back, right? And when you understand, so I've been through things, right? And I can see them in other people. Now that I'm closer to God, I have a better understanding of, these are my triggers. This is what I look like. This is how I felt. This is how I act when these things happen. I can see it in other people. So if you have anxiety, and then your significant other has anxiety, you're not going to be mad at them for having anxiety. You're going to see it in them. So now you can be patient with them and help them through the process, right? If you and your significant other had similar triggers, you can be like, okay, I know what this is. I know how to handle it. Let me help you through it. And that builds love, that builds trust, that builds intimacy. Because protect and provide, fellas, this is for you. Protect and provide doesn't necessarily mean monetary. And I gotta be strong and beat up anybody that looks like my wife. That's crazy. But protect and provide means knowing when to be the lamb, knowing when to be the lion, knowing when to be Paul, and knowing when to be Jesus. Right? And even Jesus was the lion and the lamb. Sometimes he was holding children, and sometimes he was flipping tables. Right? And you can't come at your wife with the fire of God all the time. When she's hurting, you gotta be soft. When she needs a sensitive touch, you gotta be gentle. You can't just bogart. You can't just white knuckle it. Right? You gotta know when to be soft and when to be strong. And you gotta know a balance. Because if you're too soft, you get manipulated. You end up Ahab. Right? When you're too much of the lamb, you end up like Ahab, and you get manipulated and put yourself in situations, and you end up around not just women, but people who want to control you and manipulate you. So you can't always be the lamb, but if you're always the lion on the opposite end, you end up becoming emotionally and verbally abusive because you're constantly breaking people down. You might be saying some cool stuff, but it's all about deliverance. That's how you deliver things. And if you're constantly on fire and zealot and harsh and brutal, even if you're honest or not, bro, that turns into abuse. Words cut. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So do you really want to be hurting your wife or your husband? Because men have feelings too. We're still human beings. We're still people. I don't know where this concept of men don't have feelings. Men, you don't want to like just break down and abuse and destroy your husband. That's crazy. Like this is, God has placed you in charge, not in charge, but God has placed you in care of this man, of his son. Right? We say, oh, I want somebody's son. Yeah, somebody's son, that's God's son. So he's placed you in care of that person, of this man. You want to nourish him. You want to help cultivate him. You want him to be able to be gentle with you. You want him to be vulnerable with you, because who else is he going to be with? So you gotta know when to be the lion and the lamb too. You can't just go crazy on people and expect to be loved the right way. That's for the ladies and the fellas. Like you gotta know. So while we're waiting, and I am waiting because I don't do counterfeits. So when God says yes, then I'll move. But while we're waiting, let's focus on ourselves and get ourselves together. Because if you really want it, you gotta become it before you are it. Right? Ooh, that was a bar. If you really want it, you gotta become it before you are it. Don't try to wait until you become it to figure out what it means to be it. If this is something you truly want, say, God, I want to be a husband. I want to be a wife. Please help me become that. So when my person comes, I can love them the best way they need to. That's selflessness. And allow God to do that work in you. And I promise you, when things finally happen for you, they're going to be so much more beautiful than you could possibly imagine. God is good, right? All the time. So, yeah, that's the message for today. Like, comment, subscribe, like I said earlier. I really hope y'all are going to like the changes. I know you will, because it's a safe space. You make it safe for me. I make it safe for you. You like it. I like y'all. I got some more stuff coming along, too. God's been asking me to do some stuff with this channel. And I'd be like, God, I only got 20 subscribers. Do it anyway. I'm like, all right. who am I to say no? So it's gonna be awesome. So like, comment, subscribe, share, please. Let's build the community. Let's build the safe space up so we can have a safer space on the internet, and we don't have to hear no nonsense about everything. Who is ruining my video, bro? The wee woos is ruining my video. All right, y'all. Oh, it was an ambulance. My fault. Go get that person. Yeah, yeah. So, peace, love, hair grease. I use oils. I feel like coming to America, all natural. These are berries and juices. You feel me? Berries and juices and oils. I'll use grease. But yeah, peace, love, and you not me. So hair grease.